They got to do their keys at the same time, but instead of like a key, it's like a shape that they have to fit into the right sized hole,
Like a
or
square
the right
peg.
shaped hole. Yeah.
Lore Boys here, the internet's #1 reconnaissance podcast, is back with more of what you need. My name is Peter O'Donohue, and I'm one of the good ones, I swear. Joining me today is...
It's Ethan outside the sphere, coming to you live.
Very good. And as we said over on the bonus episode, patreon.com/loreboys, Jamie's out on a diplomatic mission right now. I won't tell you why or who he is spying on, but based on the pictures, it's a bunch of jacked, shirtless men.
Yeah. Jamie is autoerotically asphyxiated by climbing into a mech, sending it out into space, then cracking the seals on the mech. So he's inside a mech jerking off that is has no atmosphere. That's how he did it this week.
I think the ultimate, the pinnacle of autoerotic asphyxiation is going to be taking your helmet off in space on the way to Mars.
Yeah. Well, you say taking your helmet off, like, I think you got to just shoot yourself out of an airlock, because you wouldn't be able to, if you're wearing a suit, you can't, unless, I guess they got those like milkers now,
you
right?
pull it into the sleeve.
They got those milkers that Jordan Peterson warned us about that I think NASA could build into a suit if they needed to.
I would love that.
The astronaut role play with like the milking machine in between the crotch. I mean, I hope this is someone's first time listening to this show. Like, yeah, I love Battletech.
Mech Warrior on sale. Get ready. So today's episode about Wolf's Dragoons, a mercenary unit from the Battletech or Mech Warrior franchise, was requested under the recent kind of just blanket request of more Battletech. This 40k Magic Dungeons and Dragons, people will just hit us with the more, please. And then that gives us like the liberty to just choose whatever we want. These requests come pretty regularly, so for Battletech specifically. So if I missed your name, I'm sorry. I only went back as far as October 2024, which is when MechWarrior 5 Clans came out, which at time of recording is the most recent game.
Like 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for asking, Darkside Bunny, Rogue Squad 92, Han Dolo, who has been sending me some great shit on Instagram, as well as Normie's The Big Slime, and then Ethan and I also like Battletech.
True. Yeah. Can I say everybody you listed extremely handsome and cute? It's a weird coincidence.
Exactly. Yeah. Send me some selfies. If you want to request an episode, you can do that on the lore request channel over on our Discord, linked below. And if you want a little mustard on that request, you can join patreon.com/theloreboys. One last call to action. Thank you to everybody who's done the survey thus far, which is linked below. We're getting a lot of really good information. And we just need a couple of more people to fill out the listener survey, because it will help. I don't know. It's going to be beneficial to the show as far as I am aware. It's been great.
As far as we're told.
Everybody who's done it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you bought the most recent game, like we said, MechWarrior 5 Clans, there should be minimal spoilers for that game. I haven't finished it. I think you should play the game on Game Pass, because it crashes a lot for me specifically. And there are no mid-mission checkpoints, but it is a great time. It's lovely to have a MechWarrior game, like just a single-player MechWarrior game that is focused with no faffing around, no side crap. It's just like go, 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 all missions, all the time. And it is every single time a character pops up, or like a date pops up in that game, if you Google it, it's just from the source material. It is slavishly devoted to the lore. It is so fucking cool. Yeah, it's just...
We stand that shit here.
We do, yeah. And it's a Canadian game. Gotta buy local, baby.
Yeah, this day and age.
Yeah, exactly. So since it's been a minute since we covered Battletech, I'm going to give a little bit of context to what we're going to be talking about regarding the Battletech universe. We have full episodes about basically everything I'm going to touch on here. I think I did 5 or 6 back in the past before I got really comfortable in my lore pants. I used to just cover fucking Team Fortress and Battletech over and over and over again because I didn't have the confidence to research anything. But yeah. Yeah, so the universe of Battletech is set within the Milky Way galaxy, generally in and around the third millennium. So, like, MechWarrior 5 Clans, the most recent one, starts in 3048. So, just
Okay,
like, yeah, 1,023 years from now.
sure.
Faster than light space travel is done with a network of hyperpulse generators, or HPGs, which are owned and operated by the communications company Comstar, whose company
Comstar.
motto is "We will never start a jihad." Um,
Right, yeah.
we have a whole episode about how they didn't do that at all
At all. Not at
from
all.
a couple years ago. Yeah, exactly. It is so funny. Speaking of like modern times, how like a shitty CEO of a exploitative tech company has now like a slavishly devoted army of idiots willing to die for him.
Yeah, it's stranger. Yeah, fiction is so crazy, huh? How it's just
Yeah,
like, boy, where do you guys come up with this stuff?
exactly. I mean, they called this fucking 25 years ago. A buddy of mine, friend of the show, Oren, was just like, we were just complaining about foreign politics at some
Mhm.
point. We were getting like drunk and stoned together, and he was just like, no, these people all read Dune and learned the opposite lesson. Like this is
Yeah,
this is the wrong thing. So
yeah. It's hard to use satire.
yeah, it is exactly. Um, yeah, so like I said, the two most recent games begin in 3015 and 3048, respectively. However, both cover multiple years, which is really cool. MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, which I want to say came out in 2019. I don't really remember. The has an in-game calendar because you're managing a mercenary company the whole time.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The
that's like
in-game
there's like
calendar.
days to repair and stuff you'd mentioned,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to like field multiple mechs because if something gets chewed up in a fight and you need to repair it, and but you have a critical mission to do 6 days later, it's going to take a week to fix it. You might have to cobble some stuff together. I have my problems with that game, but the economy of it, like the business management sim that like kind of underpins the whole thing,
Yeah.
is very good. The economy in MechWarrior 5 Clans sadly is pointless, just because you like they have much more advanced technology and you're like an invading army, not a defending company, so it's
Right,
a
yeah.
different view, but it's still neat. One really cool thing about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries is the in-game calendar will continue ticking up from 3015 till 3049, because 3049 is when the clans invade. So they were just
Okay,
like,
yeah.
you cannot, lore-wise, it would
You
not
can
make
yeah.
any sense if you were just taking odd jobs in 3051 while like sci-fi soldiers were destroying the galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just stops. I think it stops in like October 3049, which is a really cool detail. So
Yeah.
it'll go
Right.
like you get.
Sci-fi soldiers who at some point had railed against Comstar left the sphere as it was, where like humanity existed, and then developed these like clans outside of it. It was like the world's or the galaxy's smartest man or whatever led them and all the scientists out there, and then the scientists all turned into barbarians, I think, over time, and
Yeah,
became these like
sort of.
feudal
Yeah.
clans. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get into it. That's part of the recap, but yes, exactly. So the galaxy is called the Inner Sphere. It is still the Milky Way. It is ruled by multiple noble houses who control hundreds, or in some cases, thousands of planets each, and are often at war with one another. The main weapons used in these wars were battle mechs, which is where you get the term mech warrior. They're huge walking tanks armed with guns, lasers, and missiles, piloted by mech warriors, basically. If you want to take a look in some of the pictures here, I do just have some
They're
generic
so
examples
cool.
of a
So
battle mech.
I love the like the line art drawing of them, and like the first one you have, which is like an R2D2 ass head with just like a fucking like like a SAM missile artillery platform in one arm, and then just like a laser in the other is very cool, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I
A
love
lot
it.
of it is very 80s. The art
Mhm.
style has changed for the modern games, and I think I've repeated this criticism before. I don't mind it, but I think it's like a single artist has done the redesigns of a lot of these mechs. So despite the fact that like dozens of companies manufacture mechs, they all kind of look like they were made by the same guy because
Okay,
they
yeah.
were.
Yeah.
But broadly speaking, like, if you've got a budget and you can only hire one artist who's gonna redo 100 robots, like I'll take it.
Yeah.
They're very cool. It does lose some of the stupid 80s charm. Like the
Yeah.
the
I
orb
love
with
it.
legs
Yeah.
you were just talking about is not something you could get again, I guess.
No, yeah. I think And I don't think artists are the problem at all, but I do think like it's the same as like the MCU effect, right? Where like everything kind of becomes samey over time, and like
Yeah.
has been getting like media's been getting a lot less risky over time. And
Yeah.
I think to do designs like this would be like a risk that a lot of companies aren't willing to take, right?
Yeah.
For fear of
Exactly.
being laughed at on the internet.
Yes, and we will. Okay.
Yeah,
Mark
we
my
will.
words. As a man on the internet, I will ridicule you.
I will ridicule you.
I will ridicule you.
I will ridicule you.
Ridicule you. You need to say thank you.
Yeah.
So, after a series of disastrous wars called the Succession Wars, the Great Houses founded the Star League in 2570 to try and kind of stabilize things a little bit. This is their model UN, basically.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's about as effective as the real one.
There was like,
Um,
wasn't there? And I'm sure you're going to get to this, and I keep just jumping in. Isn't there like royal houses? Isn't there like a proper
yeah,
like feudal monarchy in
yes.
the inner sphere? Yeah.
Well, that's what I said just whatever a couple minutes ago. Is
Okay.
the inner sphere is ruled by multiple noble houses? In my head, I want to say 5 or 6. I definitely getting that wrong. But yeah, it's like there is the name of the area ruled by a house. So like
Right.
the Federated Sons is House Davion, as an example.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
and like the Federated Commonwealth is House Steiner, Free Worlds League, that sort of shit. Well, we are going to talk about them a lot. They all do come up in the story that we're actually going to talk about via the
Cool.
recap. But yeah, excuse me. So the soldiers of the Star League were the SDLF, or the Star League Defense Force, who did employ the world's smartest man, who we had mentioned earlier.
SLDF.
SDLF. Oh, so what the fuck am I talking about? SLDF. I'm an idiot. Yeah. Star Defense League Force, obviously.
Star Defense League Force.
Yeah, the
Why not?
SLDF. Excuse me, Star League Defense Force. I wrote it wrong every time. What
It
is this?
doesn't matter. Yeah, it
Oh my
super doesn't
God.
matter, but it's
Yeah.
going to be super confusing for you now. And you've already established that you're an idiot every time you get it wrong.
I am, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the SLDF would serve the houses for a couple of hundred years until the leader of the Star League Defense Force, Alexander Kerensky, got fed up with protecting inbred princes from themselves. So he had 6 million other people leave the galaxy in 2784 for the periphery. So there are still planets and stars outside of the Milky Way galaxy. It's considered uncharted space. There's a few territories in the periphery. Like you do go to the periphery in MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, which is pre-invasion, like in the 3030s, the 3040s, shit like that.
Okay.
It's basically just like they have an agricultural world out in this, but like limited government protection. It's just whatever, like libertarian wheat out in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? Sort of shit.
Right. Yeah.
Which is based, honestly. So the periphery is pseudo uncharted. The people who left with him were the best of the best and their families, so soldiers, scientists, architects, doctors, and mech warriors. Everyone who knew anything left the inner sphere behind during Operation Exodus. This is very much just like my current fantasy of just like, man, the government sucks. I'm gonna go out in the middle of nowhere and just be left alone.
Peter Thiel will save us by building a city on the ocean that we can all live in.
Exactly. And he will have a plexiglass dome to molest boys in to his heart.
Exactly.
Bottom of the ocean that is like just like plugged into a volcanic vent to heat it forever as he continues to get damper.
Yeah.
Have you seen him recently?
Is he slick? Is he looking slick?
I think his eyebrows fell out from all the boy blood that he's been injecting, and
no.
he went on like MSNBC. And if I was gonna make a television appearance on cable, I would definitely appear as at my least moist. But he was looking.
The camera adds 10 moist, so.
It does. Yeah, he looks fucking bad. Basically.
Well,
yeah. Not that he ever
not
looked
a
great,
great guy.
but yeah.
You know what? I'm not even finding this MSNBC one, but he's moist in almost every picture I can find. So
Yeah, I mean it was like moist even for him. Is like the picture I saw. I'll pull up the clip later on. We need our Jamie, for fuck's sake, on the
right.
on the subject. So technology within the inner sphere stagnated The people left behind could barely maintain technology. However, could barely maintain the technology. However, building new things was completely impossible. There is dialogue in a few of the games explaining that destroying a Union class dropship, which is the big spherical one, not the spherical mech that I chose to show off there earlier. The massive dropship that can contain like other dropships and multiple mechs, soldiers,
like a planet. Like they built a little planet for themselves, right?
They're
like
massive.
A Death Star, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. When you see them in game, like if your mech is 40 feet tall, and you stand next to a Union class dropship, it is like 5 to 6 times taller than your mech. They're huge. The big orb, they've got this deployable legs, they land like that. So because building new things, it's all maintenance, you can't create anything. Destroying a Union class dropship is pretty much a war crime that none of the great houses, not even the clans when they invade, are willing to do. There's dialogue in MechWarrior 5 clans that is just like, what? Oh, they're taking off now while it's damaged? Like, I thought destroying a Union class was illegal, basically. Like, you cannot... It's basically like sinking a city into the ocean. You cannot fucking replace it.
It's unthinkable.
Yeah.
It'd be like sinking a billionaire's super yacht into the ocean.
Exactly.
Think of all the poor servants you drown.
Orcas. Yeah, can you imagine like Jeff Bezos' super yacht sinking and then like just through utter happenstance crashing into Peter Thiel's molestation dome at the bottom? Just like flooding it.
we can hope. It's going to be our only salvation is them killing each other. So
Allah, I have seen what you have done for others. So even battle mechs within the inner sphere are oftentimes like heirlooms. I think the one you get at the beginning from your dad in MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries is like it's a Centurion mech, and it's just like openly referred to as being like 150 years old.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like your piano that you have, basically, despite the fact I have no idea where you got your piano, Ethan.
It's not 150 years old, I'll tell you that much.
Is it an heirloom?
No.
Oh, dang, never mind. It's like the name tag I have behind me that has my name on it that I got from my grandfather with the same name.
With the same name.
So the plan was always to return to the inner sphere and retake Holy Terra, which is what they refer to Earth as. The people who left with Kerensky eventually separated into clans and prepared for an invasion. Now, obviously, as these were descendants of people who could read, they would not be going in blind. They would have help from the Wolf's Dragoons, which is the subject of our episode.
Yeah, you couldn't read if you're blind. Braille notwithstanding.
Well, yeah. Space Braille.
Space Braille. Come on, grow up.
It's the year 3000, not the year 30,000. Okay, these people have. So in the year 3000, and this is so funny. When I wrote that down, I was, you always say, the distant future, the year 2000.
Yeah.
I kept hearing the year 3000 in your voice doing that.
Okay.
I was writing the script.
That's not mine. That's Flight of the Conchords has a song called where they.
Oh, is that it?
Reference? Yeah, exactly. It's the humans are dead. The song "The Humans Are Dead," and they talk about robots killing all humans in the distant future of the year 2000.
I see. Okay. Well, in the distant future, the year 3000. So the clans, they have their own feudal politics out there. It's not that like it wasn't a utopia out in the periphery. They did devolve into warring clans. They have like they have a very ritualistic like system of like fight challenges. You can do like a trial of possession for an entire planet where you send down 5 mechs from your end and 5 mechs from the people who are currently occupying the planet. And if the 5 people who win, just fucking get the planet. Like that's it. It's a trial of possession. Yeah. So
I've played Beyblades. I get it.
It is Beyblade politics. It is exactly it is exactly like they have like an orbital ripcord, and they
just send these mechs like spinning around, like, like you're just holding
the pilots.
Yeah, you're just holding down the minigun while you're spinning in a circle at like whatever 1500 RPM, and just like projectile vomiting all over your cockpit screen, right?
To the spoils go the least pukey, basically.
Yeah, he who keeps his lunch keeps the planet.
I wrote it wrong here again. So after the SLDF left, excuse me, that's too far ahead. Yeah, so the clans voted in the year 3000 to create an infiltration unit that would be sent back to the Inner Sphere to run recon on the Great Houses while posing as a mercenary unit. So they could, of course, just exploit all these greedy lords and ladies by just being like, hey, we'll fight for money, we'll kill your enemies.
Yeah, the descendants, some whatever 400 years later of the people who originally left the solar system, realizing it fucking sucks out here. There's no fast food. There's no industry. We got to do everything ourselves. This sucks. Are like, well, let's go back and see what they're up to and see if we can just take all their stuff.
Basically, yeah.
Now that we've built better mechs, right? Significantly better mechs.
Yeah. The technology gap between the Inner Sphere and the clans is basically what 300 years of sci-fi development would get you. So it's completely just like, yeah, everything has better range, the armor's better, they're all faster, they have better heat management. Like, there are, other than, which we do talk about in one of the episodes, I think about Comstar, there are like some mechs that end up getting classified as clan busters, like the Black Knight, one that's like good enough to, like, the Star League era has some good mechs because the Star League mechs were the ones being developed by the clans into what are now clan mechs, whereas like some of the other shit was just being maintained by the Great Houses. So like Star League era shit is good. And the Black Knight, I believe, is a Star League era mech, which is why Comstar like fielded a bunch of them as clan busters to hold off the clans long enough, but also Comstar like prints the currency, so they straight up have all the money in the galaxy to like hold them back, and like they halted the invasion long enough to like make a brief deal with the clans, which again, episodes about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the mercenaries were always a part of Inner Sphere politics. Even during times of peace, they were employed by the Great Houses to fight dirty little secret wars, basically doing like stealing panties from other Great Houses with their paid murderers.
Yep.
And after the Star League Defense Force left, they were like some of the few remaining people who also like had any kind of combat experience. So like a prince would have his own mech, but like in some cases, broadly, he would use it into whatever a mech warrior version of like jousting to win the bare hand of a maiden would be, right?
Probably jousting, right? They don't ride them at each other. It's like harpooning, I guess, instead of jousting.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have melee weapons. There's like big fuck off swords. Like I know.
Is there swords in this one?
Nice. Yeah, I mean, House Kurita, who is Space Japan, has like the Hatamoto Chi, which before they introduced melee weapons in MechWarrior 5 was borderline worthless because it has like a couple of guns to back up the mech katana that it is supposed to have, which is pretty crazy.
It is a very Gundam ass looking battle mech, I'll say.
Yeah, it's got like a samurai helmet crest built into the cockpit.
It's wild. Yeah. It's also like it stands like a very upright human instead of like a lot of the other ones look like more like tanks, I guess, right? Like they're designed to be a thing. This is like designed much more after the human form. It has like a waist, has a bit of an hourglass figure, you know.
It's snatched.
It's sexy. Yeah. It's sexy and I want to sex it.
I mean, the clans took all knowledge of maintaining snatched waists out of the right? So it was good.
Yeah, caked up with plasteel.
So Comstar at one point in 2789 created the Mercenary Review Board, which was a neutral organization that acted as like a broker for mercenaries and the people hiring them. So there was just like a centralized place where you and the guy you're trying to kill could go and hire like mercenary contractors, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Like today, this would probably be an app or something with like surge pricing during peacetime or some shit.
Yeah. Merc the app or.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be misspelled.
Like killer. Just KLLR, you know?
Yeah. Like grinder.
PMC-er.
You're like swiping on like guys and like you're asking when you ask like body count as you're like as your first DM, it's like straight up like how many men have you killed in war?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's instead of like a guy with a fish, it's like a guy with a head, you know?
Yeah. So the infiltrators were led by brothers Jamie and Joshua Wolf. These were freeborn mech warriors from Clan Wolf. Now the pictures here, Hatamoto Chi, good. This would be the black and white photos here of the guy doing the Le Reddit L pose, and then the guy with the beret after that. That is Jamie and Joshua, respectively.
Which is Jamie's the bear, and Josh is the twink. Do you know?
Exactly.
Okay. It looks like our Jamie a little bit, honestly.
I know. I mean, when I started pulling this up, because of course this was put together after my Remnant from the Ashes episode didn't pan out, I was like, damn, Jamie, what's he doing down on his diplomatic mission in Vegas?
Right? I wish he wasn't having fun and said he was with us, but
yeah,
I
wish I was
hate that he
explaining
has fun.
robots to him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Why does he need BattleBots when we got Battletech? Huh?
Yeah, I know, dude. The fact he's going to BattleBots is.
I know. I'm so jealous.
It's so righteous.
So insanely jealous.
So I specified there that they are freeborn mech warriors. A freeborn is someone who is conceived via the barbaric process of men and women hitting it raw from the back.
Right.
Whereas the superior trueborn are conceived via a eugenics program inside a machine called an iron womb. Yeah, I know. Ugh, hitting it from the back.
Yeah.
So Trueborn actually often use the term free birth as a slur, along with spheroid when talking about people from the inner sphere, which is
right. I remember this. Yeah, I remember that slur.
Yeah, and they use it a lot in MechWarrior 5 Clans. The dialogue is very funny in that game because, again, the fact that these guys are so devoted to the lore, like using contractions is undisciplined. They call it like free birth speak if you say can't instead of cannot.
Okay.
Or I'll instead of I will. And like one of the characters is like notorious. It's just like, oh, you better quit it with that free birth speak. He's just like, well, I'm a free spirit, bro. Like blah blah blah. Like yeah. And they use a lot of like
I can't quit it.
I can't stop.
Yeah.
Can't
quit it and I can't hit it.
Not from the back. Gross.
Not from the back. Heavens no. I came into a robot and it gave me my son.
The primary cast of MechWarrior 5 Clans are all Trueborn. You meet, like, I think the guy, Ibrahim Ismail, he's like this hardcore military guy, and he says you're from his blood house. I think it's like, it's his nut in the iron womb that cloned all of you.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you have a mother.
He's very daddy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you have a mother. The mother is battle. That is
true.
Yeah. Where was I? Right. So the new mercenary unit, from Jamie and Joshua Wolf. Also, they have the surname Wolf is because they are of Clan Wolf. Whereas there is a very silly cutscene that is played completely seriously in MechWarrior 5, where it's just like, all right, you're no longer Jaden Kit. Kit is like a trainee in Smoke Jaguar. You've been promoted to like Star Commander Jaden Smoke Jaguar. And you're like, great.
Hell yes, I have.
Like, there's other clans like Diamond Shark and like Goliath Scorpion, which is just gonna be on somebody's passport, right? Can I get your full name, please, sir?
I'm Mackenzie, Super Robot. Just
matches on the ID.
Yeah, that's your like bank security password, right? Iron Womb.
What's your mother's maiden name? Iron Womb. Trick question. So the Dragoons were mostly other freeborn volunteers. However, a few trueborn clan warriors from Goliath Scorpion were with them to assist in war games and with training. A notable volunteer was Natasha Karinsky, the Black Widow or the Queen of Spades. She ends up having like really hardcore beef with the mysterious character known as the Bounty Hunter, who is a guy that we have an entire episode on from a couple years ago. He's very cool.
Bounty Hunter Smoke Jaguar. Was his full name.
Exactly. Dr. Bounty Hunter Smoke Jaguar. MD.
Esquire.
So leaving clan space in 3004, the Dragoons first set up a base where they could resupply in the Bristol system in the periphery before proceeding into the inner sphere. So this is one of those like agricultural planets, basically, just kind of in the periphery. The Inner Sphere knows about it, but they don't go there very often. It's not within it. It's ungovernable, basically,
Right.
sort of thing. Since the clans had continued to research and develop technology, clan mechs were and are vastly superior in every single way to the like century-old piles of shit that the Inner Sphere are rocking around in, like we'd established earlier.
Yeah.
This is a funny comparison that I thought of. I mean, funny, not funny, haha, I guess. Like if you think about the old cars in Cuba that are constantly maintained because of like the blockade
The embargo.
they
Yeah.
have. Yeah, exactly. Like where like they have like sick ass cars from the 50s that they can like disassemble if they had space braille. They could take apart and reassemble with their eyes closed, right?
Right. Yeah.
Compared to like a wildly unsafe Tesla that like will catch fire if it gets wet. Where it's like way more high tech, but
I mean, for your analogy, I mean it works too because the people that stayed in the past, a Tesla can kill way more people than any of your 1950s
so much
Bel
more
Airs.
dangerous. Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just like, well, actually, we pre-installed blind spots on every like 6 inches of the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, of course, like the Cybertruck is easy to make fun of because you can't like see out the back of it, which is just an insane thing to add to the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like you can't see very well at the front either, but whatever.
No, dude,
It has built-in child run over technology, so
which it is great. I am concerned with the birth rate. We need to hit more children with cars. I think.
I'm going to say I'm neutral on the issue.
I see.
I could take more or less hitting children.
Interesting take from a man with a daughter that you are neutral running over children with Cybertruck's subjects.
I'm playing both sides. What if the Cybertrucks come for me?
Oh no, radical centrist on the hit and run policy.
First, the Cybertrucks came for my neighbors, and I said nothing.
I think this Cybertruck put a curse on my crops and have killed my garden. Yeah, right. So anyway, so when the due to the difference in technology, like they knew what people had, right? Like they knew that like the Habsburgs couldn't maintain their battle mechs when they left, basically. I talk about a blind spot, dude. That fucking chin. Jesus, look down. Look
you
perfect.
You can't look down.
Eclipse.
It's just chin to chest always. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like truly. I was fascinated with the Habsburgs for a while. I read about like was King Charles's autopsy or whatever, where like all his organs were like in a matrix of pus, basically. Like his body was filled with fluid.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hope that's how I go. Pus matrix.
I don't want to do that. I mean, each their own. Yeah, so basically the Dragoons had like arrived. When they arrived, they would also like park a massive space station called Hephaestus over like whatever planet they were currently doing business with. So they parked it over Bristol at first. And I don't want to alarm anybody. The Inner Sphere was just like, huh.
What's that?
Odd, we've not seen this thing before.
Yeah.
Right?
What's that? I don't know. I can't look up. It's been inbred out of me.
They're like dogs.
Yeah.
However, even though they like did have good intentions, and this is a good plan to like, okay, well, we're gonna pull some classics out of storage. We don't want to, shock anybody by just appearing out of nowhere with new technology that no one's seen. They still kind of accidentally ended up with like a couple of "How do you do, fellow kids" moments when they showed up, because they showed up with some battle mechs that had basically disappeared entirely, like the hoplite, and like because. Like all of the hoplites that had been allegedly completely destroyed, like in the 2700s. Okay. And now this like new upstart with a space station is just like, hey guys, can we help kill your rivals for money at all?
Yeah,
we've got the hoplite here. Don't worry about it. They also brought a few battle mechs that had straight up never been seen. Like they took blueprints from the Star League and like would construct these things out in the periphery. So when they showed up with the Annihilator and the Imp, no one had ever seen these mechs ever. These are not technically clan mechs; they're Inner Sphere blueprints. But when they showed up, the Annihilator
never built.
Yeah, exactly. So the Annihilator is the four-armed one next to the black and white photo below the wolf picture. It's
Okay,
got
yeah.
like four huge cannons on it, and then the hoplite is the one next to it.
Okay, very
Where
cool.
after 300 years, people show up with hoplites and don't act like it's a miracle, basically.
Yeah.
And then of course the Annihilator, which no one had ever seen at all.
Yeah.
The Annihilator is
Showing
interesting.
up with a fucking Tasmanian tiger to the dog park being like, brought my dog, guys.
Yeah,
Everyone's
exactly.
just like,
Yeah,
what do you mean?
an 8-year-old Tasmanian tiger. Like
Yeah.
it's been around for years. You're like, well, how old's he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It?
With, like puppies in its pouch, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did their best to trick people into thinking they'd been around this whole time, but obviously showing up with like really I mean, this is also like showing up to a bunch of guys with crossbows with a gun and acting like nothing has changed, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Um,
I think I could give in some guys with crossbows that it was just like a cool crossbow that I made myself. You know what I mean?
yeah, I can't imagine at the time those people are particularly bright or literate, but
Yeah. Yeah. Probably couldn't even read space,
some
bro.
guy just like some guy just sitting there with a crossbow leaning up against like a castle wall. Like, you know how like cool guys will eat an apple off the blade of a knife,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This
Totally.
this guy's just sitting there like it's just like doing the same action, but it's just like a ball of dirt, and he's just like, "What's all this then?"
Yeah. I'm trying to fit in, so I'm eating an apple off the barrel of my fucking AK.
It's like on the tip of the
I got
bayonet.
no trigger discipline. Don't trust me around guns. Come on.
Both
I'm a
hands.
goober.
I know
I
no one's
know
gonna see that
no
action.
one's gonna see that, but Pete just did the funniest little face. uh,
But just imagine me eating an apple off the barrel of a gun. You'll
yeah.
get it exactly.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine a Habsburg Peter eating off an apple off the barrel of a gun.
So once their supplies, Habsburg Pete's great. I'm gonna change my name. So once their supplies have been stashed away on Bristol, Jamie Wolfe created a specialized unit under, and I put this in because I love silly names, and I know
Mhm.
you and I had a great time with like Indiana Jones's alias. That was whatever the fucking like Mr. Boomba Stick or some shit
Yeah.
back in the day.
Uh-huh.
Jamie Wolfe created a specialized unit under Cranston Snord called
Yeah.
called
Right.
Snord's Irregulars, whose mission was to explore the inner sphere looking for old Star League era caches. There's a couple of very cool missions in both the New MechWarrior games where you do try to find a Star League cache.
A Snord
Sometimes,
cache.
precisely. A Snord cache. This
Yeah.
is in some cases where you'll find things like Black Knight mechs and whatnot, like some of the fancy shit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. One of the cool things about the Black Knight, even with the very uniform art style, is it is very smooth. It's much more Mass Effect-y, despite the fact it's like shaped like a human. It's got a lot of rounded edges, so it still does look more expensive than some of the, like, if you, while you're pulling up the clip there, if you want to pull up like the Black Knight and then like the Hatchet Man in comparison of like two mechs that are very humanoid-esque, but you'll see the big difference between like an expensive mech and then just like, yeah, this thing straight up was like an agricultural mech for a while, and we just like strapped some fucking guns onto it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Melee, like, as always, it makes more sense in Battletech, I guess. Melee in Battletech does so much fucking damage. Because, like, lasers do a lot of damage, but these things are swinging around like 4,000-pound hatchets at this point. Like,
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think a hatchet, would do more damage than a laser against metal. Lasers are like laser weapons are pretty theoretical at this point, so who knows what potential they have. But a bomb's better than a hatchet, you know?
it is. Yeah.
Missiles just better than hatchet. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
You could,
exactly.
you could put a hatchet in a bomb. Like, that's a fragmentation grenade, right?
I was just about to say, it's like mech-based grenades just have a bunch of very large hatchets inside them.
Yeah, yeah. A shrapnel for a mech is just like a real weapon to you and me. They're shooting pinatas at each other full of hatchets, right?
Yeah, they've arrived. I was like, they showed up in 3004 with fucking pinatas nobody had ever seen. It's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, so Cranston Snord and his unit was called the Snord's Irregulars.
It's pretty irregular.
Cranston, yeah, I think he knew what he was doing. Cranston Snord started out alone on the planet Crossing, and again, I felt so bad that Jamie's away for this one. Cranston Snord managed to win an entire mercenary unit called McFinney's Manglers in a game of poker. So like this guy just fell ass backwards into Merc work, dude. It's so good.
That is
I
fun.
don't know if Mr. Snord is Trueborn or Freeborn. I'm gonna assume Freeborn, so his parents did touch butts, which is gross. Because of course his last name is not Ghost Bear or some shit.
Right, yeah.
Dude,
you must be able to flunk out though, right? Like if you're Trueborn.
You can, yeah. You can. They're called washouts.
Okay, yeah.
So
they take your passport and they rip the little like Smoke Jaguar sticker off where they had stickered over your actual last name.
You had a real last name.
It's just like your last name and your gun.
Yeah. It's just like even though it's like the 30th century, it's still like the label maker shit, like the label maker sticker, like the plasticine, whatever.
They have to like sometimes like while they're disbarring people, they have to be like, "Oh, hold on a second, we got to get the heat gun." They get a little heat gun to try and like melt it off a little.
Or you hold it over the steam in a kettle to just like get it to try and like curl off.
Hold on. Just I get it right back to you. Don't worry.
No, you're still kicked out. It's just it's just being finicky, and it like peels off some of the paper, so they still can't read your last fucking name. So you get a new label that's got your real last name on it, just like on top.
Yeah, what is this? An inner sphere label maker?
Dude, labels you've never heard of, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. So he eventually passed on command of his unit to his daughter Rhonda Snord, which is just a Saskatchewan name, honestly. And she led them until the 3070s, where she was killed by the Blake Jihad, which of course was the jihad that Comstar swore they would never do.
They pinky promised, and they, I mean, I know it's fiction, but it makes you wonder if corporations really have our best interests at heart.
I mean, is a pinky promise worth nothing to these people?
Yeah, I know. It's pretty disgusting. Nonetheless, I remain neutral on the issue of corporations committing jihads against people.
So we're gonna speaking of corporations committing jihads, we will be getting more into the Dragoon operations after the break. Welcome back from the break, everybody. Thank you for listening to the ad or ads, even. That is a fraction of a penny in my pocket, and I appreciate it.
I won all of Peter's Transformer toys in a game of poker.
God damn it. What are you going to do with 40 Transformers, dog?
My life savings.
Pulled all my money out of my RSP, guys. No tax on Transformers either.
Think about Transformers. They only appreciate in value.
In some cases, that's true. I got a couple of rare ones. So in 3005, the Dragoons arrived in Federated Suns space, ruled by House Davion. I used them as an example earlier on when during the kind of like contextual part of this episode. They sent envoys to the capital planet of New Avalon and offered up their services to Ian Davion. He hired them and sent them to fight the Capellan Confederation, ruled by House Liao. So this is basically England v. China. The empire base, basically, for these two great houses. Excuse me. They eliminated multiple Liao bases and also captured the planet New Aragon in 3008. Ian Davion, obviously a very important surname in this universe, rather. Excuse me. Victor Steiner Davion is a very important character in the FedCom Civil War, who I think, if I remember that correctly, which we do have an episode on, if you're thirsty for more Battletech. Yeah.
We've talked about him and his son, I think, on another episode, but I could be misremembering.
And also his like uncle, or I think is Hans Davion. It's a very important family. Also, this is one of my favorite art pieces I ever did before I ever got a tablet. I believe the FedCom Civil War artwork is the one where the guy with the fake arm and the pizza box with the gun inside of it is.
That was Blake Jihad.
Oh fuck! Of
That
course.
was Big
God damn.
Jihad. Yeah, the FedCom Civil War looks like a robot, a Battletech shooting its pilot out of a cannon, and that pilot has a sword. And it's like going to attack the enemy with their
Oh,
sword flash figure.
that's also quite good. Never mind.
Mhm, mhm.
Damn, I was funny 8 years ago, dude.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
back in the good old days.
Yeah. So they captured New Aragon in 3008. House Liao had hired the Waco Rangers mercenary unit to defend New Aragon. During the fight, John Waco was forced to eject from his mech after it was crippled, and he was subsequently stepped on and killed by a Dragoon mech. So we were talking about blind spots earlier. I don't know if you want to remain centrist on this one, whether stepping on guys with a battle mech is good or bad. Ethan, I just your
Neutral.
hot take.
Depends on the guy. Depends on the mech.
Yeah, you know what? And on the subject of the Blakist and Comstar and the review board basically did a internal investigation and ruled that it was
No
an act.
wrongdoing.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
found no fault.
Yeah. Hey, look, mercenaries fighting mercenaries that we manage and basically facilitate all the financial transactions for. Nah, don't worry about it.
Could have happened to anyone.
That could have been anybody under that mech's foot on that planet during that war. John's father, Wayne Waco, which is a great name, less funny. We need more Snords in sci-fi, I think.
Yeah.
We really need.
More Snords, Gadords, Blords,
Yeah, all the
Lord.
Ord names.
Mm-hmm.
I
All the
think
Ords.
Ord? Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, Ord was the blue dragon on Dragon Tales. For some reason, that memory just materialized in my head.
I gotta remain neutral on this one too.
That was a children's show that kinda, sorta would teach you Spanish. That was on CBC when I was like 10 or something.
I am neither for nor against the dragon named Ord on Dragon Tales. That's all I'm willing to say.
So John's father, Wayne Waco, was the leader of the Rangers. Did not like the verdict of being the no-fault crushing of his son, I guess, and swore to destroy Wolf's Dragoons. In 3009, when House Davion tried to renegotiate their contract with the Dragoons, they were told that that wasn't an option. It's like it's not 5 calendar years. They call them 5-year contracts, right? But like 3005 to 3009 is 5 years inclusively. It's not 5 to 10 math wise sort of thing. When I was looking at it, I was
defense post problem, right?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The Dragoons then moved on to work for the Capellans, whom they'd been fighting for nearly 5 years.
Okay.
However, when they signed on with the Capellan Confederation, they were like, hey, look, we'll fight anybody. You mark me a target, man, woman, child, I don't give a fuck.
You
Baby
show
Hitler,
me a person to step on, and I'll step on them, okay?
exactly. Any of them. Except House Davion. Since actually in the fine print, you will notice that we can't fight any of our previous employers. And due to the fact there is a limited amount of houses,
There's only 5 houses. They're going to run out of work in 25 years.
Being a problem at any point in the future, Ethan, okay? I do not like the fact that you are burying my fucking lead I am trying to bury, okay?
What would this show be if we were cutting each other off to try and get to the joke first, Peter? Come on.
Exactly. This was a strategy ensuring they didn't have to fight too much. They'd get hired, learn tactics internally, and then fight someone to learn tactics externally as well. Fighting Davion would be a waste of time since they'd already been on the inside. House Davion got lucky, I guess, because it's just the first place they arrived.
Just being contacted first, yeah.
Exactly. Meaning, officially, they never actually have to fight House Davion because in their contract, they're like, hey, don't worry about it, brother.
Yeah. They're the only ones.
Exactly.
They're the only ones who get off so easy.
Exactly, yeah. Their time with the Capellans was actually fairly uneventful. They were given garrison duty on a planet called Carver 5, which read as familiar to me. Did not pull up the clip for myself. I think it's in fucking MechWarrior 4 20 years ago. I just recalled it. And if you want to look it up and check, I'm not 100% certain. Chancellor Maximilian Liao secretly signed a deal with with Duke Anton Merrick, giving him Wolf's Dragoons to use against his stepbrother Janos Merrick, kicking off the Merrick Civil War in May of 3014. So at one point in February 3015, and I apologize for all the dates we're going to be going through here. In February 3015, an argument broke out between Anton Merrick and Jamie Wolf. Merrick had been late on a payment and had given Jamie orders that he considered to be suicidal, basically. It's just like, hey, like, go do the suicide mission.
Yeah.
I'll pay you when you get back.
Go eject under this walking mech.
Yeah, precisely. Exactly. And bring me receipts and I'll reimburse you, basically, for any... you got your per diem on this war-torn planet, basically. Yeah. So enjoy.
You will be billed for any damages to the bottom of the mech's foot.
Could you imagine? Like, it's like an Uber. You get like a cleaning fee for a guy. So Jamie refused, obviously, and stormed out of the room. Anton Merrick, enraged, took 28 hostages, including Jamie's brother Joshua, all of whom were executed.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. In retaliation, Wolf's Dragoons attacked Anton's stronghold, which he tried to fortify by like setting the forest around it on fire, which is fucking awesome. However, within half an hour, Natasha Karinsky, the Black Widow, and her Black Widow company just fucking smashed right through the forest, killed Anton Merrick, and ended the civil war right then and there after 9 months. Basically,
girl power.
Exactly, yeah, dude. OG girl boss. The shit's like source books from the 80s. All right. Mm-hmm. Just like in her whatever, like her neural pantsuit that just plugs directly into the next like matching helmet.
It's a vulva pit for if it's a woman driver.
Oh, same with the planes, eh? That's not why they land upside down now. It's because they're on the bottom.
Said one of the front.
Yeah, exactly. Which is where they're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So, like Anton Merrick, just through just awful diplomacy, got himself killed by the people he was employing to try and kill his stepbrother. Basically,
right.
So we've all been 9 months. Yeah, you know, I got 2 stepbrothers.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried to kill them yet, but I would send my sister if I had to.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Seems fair.
So Janos Merrick, maybe it's Janos, I have no idea, who we will remember the Dragoons had just couped, hired the company as thanks for ending the Civil War they'd started for money and research.
I mean, this is like almost too real, right? In terms of like how the shit goes down, how PMCs work.
Yeah, exactly. But this is just like, this is cutting off your nose to spite your face, like to the most intense degree, where it's just like I was like, well, I'm paying them now, so they certainly won't destabilize my
economy.
Yeah. He used them mainly for like deep strike sabotage missions within House Steiner's Lyran Commonwealth territory up until 3019, when the Dragoons got pretty chewed up and briefly disappeared, basically. So one strategy that the Dragoons had, which I think is good in concept, not so much in practice. So Wolf's Dragoons had been in secret heading back to Bristol periodically to resupply, rearm, and repair, and then also contact the clan homeworlds with updates on the great houses and their armies. That being said, you can do that with House Davion. Maybe when you move on to House Liao, you can do that a second time. But after 20 years of super conspicuous wars and coups, like fighting every single person you've met for money, and you just fucking disappear and come back with a new paint job, people start asking questions.
Mustache painted on the windshield, basically. Like,
exactly.
All your mechs are fucking
Exactly. I gotta get the Groucho Marx glasses on the cockpit redetailed. This will take 8 months. I'll be back. Where was I here? So like the people of the Inner Sphere, despite like they're not actually like inbred backwater hicks that we've making. They do have like partially functional governments. Like they do maintain hundreds of planets, right? Yeah, we just hate rich people. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We're just bitter. Patreon.com/theloreboys to make me That's a good plug. Thank you. So the people of the Inner Sphere actually noticed in 3020 when the Dragoons returned fully rearmed and restocked. So they got fucked up by House Steiner at some point. Disappeared, came back, hunky dory, and
Yeah.
now people are asking questions.
Yeah.
The
How'd you do that?
Hey,
Hey, that's cheating.
how is all that stuff we never seen so clean all the time? It's it's just like covered in windshield wipers, like all over his body. So the resupply run in 3019 would be their last. Curlin Ward, the Khan of Clan Wolf, informed Jamie Wolf that he was worried that the clans would just destroy the Inner Sphere rather than conquer it during an invasion. There is a lot of I like it, really good like conflict between leadership and the people on the ground in MechWarrior 5, where like you're currently working for a guy called I can't remember his first name.
Morgan.
Smorgan, yeah, exactly. Cranston Snord. Um, but it's Perez. It's like Star Colonel Perez or whatever, and he like nukes a civilian city because he's upset. Like he's very petulant.
Okay.
But he gets promoted by Clan Smoke Jaguar because they're like the violent, erratic ones.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So like you kind of live in his shadow. It's just like people don't trust us because we work for a guy who nuked a civilian city, and I don't like that. And so like Clan Wolf being one of the more stable clans, I guess. Not that I've researched all the clans.
No, I mean they seem like they have main character energy of the clans, right?
They do.
Like not, and so like that would make them
not just
like
because they're fucking Karinsky is a fucking Clan Wolf member, right?
Yeah,
like she is a main character.
Yeah, not only that, but also it's also like and maybe this is just me by comparison, but like they're the wolf, like the wolf is like the popular one. That's the popular icon more so than Jaguars and more so than the other ones.
Yeah, and the
Laser Frog,
Hufflepuff,
Tasmanian Tiger.
But yeah, and one thing I'd seen that I haven't looked into, and I might want to do an episode on one day if requested on Discord, is there are Crusader and Warden clans as well. So the Crusader clans are like Smoke Jaguar invasion guys, violent, dangerous lunatics. The Warden clans are much more. I believe Clan Wolf is a Warden clan. If you want to pull that clip up now, actually,
Sure.
Please.
It sounds like they're invading with their little mercenary corps here. So
well, look, they're all invading all the time, but they're much more reserved and like. I mean, if we destroy the Inner Sphere, like I don't want to be like King of the Ashes sort of thing, right?
Yeah,
like, that's pointless.
The leader of the Warden faction in the Grand Council, the clan was nevertheless forced to participate in the clan invasion of the Inner Sphere, where they proceeded to outshine all their clans in the number of worlds conquered. So yes, even though they're Warden, they're also the best invasion. I forget what the term for the invasion ones were, but they're the best of those ones too.
Oh, the Crusader clans.
Crusaders.
Crusaders and Wardens. I almost forgot for a second too. I was like, hold on.
SDLF Snord.
SDLF, Star Defense League Force.
Star Defense League Snord.
Snord. Snord Defense League Force. So the Curlin Ward, like I said, he was just like, hey, I think these warrior monks that we've been working for this whole time might be a little dangerous. I need you to stop sending me intel if you could. That would be great because these people frankly too dangerous to know anything at this point. So he changed the orders and told the Dragoons to prepare the Inner Sphere for the invasion. Well, he would do like political, like politicking basically behind the scenes in clan space to delay the invasion as long as he could. However, it was kind of destabilized. And this is the intro to MechWarrior 5 clans, which is so fucking cool. Comstar sent like a scout ship into clan space by accident in 3048. And it just gets captured by the clans. And they're just like, what the fuck? How did you find us? What is going on? And like and throughout a bunch of MechWarrior 5 clans, you have like a Comstar lady on your ship.
Like she was like from that ship? From that
no, she gets fired afterwards when you arrive in the Inner Sphere. Because Comstar, again, they're never going to do a jihad. You don't have to worry about talking to her.
Yeah, they're chill.
Yeah, exactly. She is the demi-presenter, I believe. I can't remember her name. She's a Japanese lady.
Okay.
But yeah, like she's the demi-presenter. So she's like working with the clans who believe everything she's saying. And she's like, damn, she knows so much. This is crazy. Well, that's convenient sort of thing. Like the Crusader clans aren't like big they're not big on the thinking.
No,
Yeah.
that's someone else's job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's bitch ass clan wolf shit to think.
Yeah.
You mess with the Unga, you get the bunga, brother. Like, let's
Yeah.
go.
All I do is nuke civilian centers, okay? That's my job.
Yeah.
Got a big stick and I hit a big button that says nuke civilian center.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to go in. You have to go into like the nuclear missile silo, but you have like two guys with two clubs, and you have to whack the buttons at the same time. Basically,
they got to do their keys at the same time, but instead of like a key, it's like a shape that they have to fit into the right sized hole,
like a square
the right
peg.
shaped hole. Yeah.
Honestly, that at this point, that would probably like foil some of the nuclear powers on Earth right now.
It would delay them at least, right?
Yeah. I don't understand why there's corners on it. There's a round hole. Like, this doesn't make any sense. This is very.
They built this wrong.
Yeah. Fire everybody who makes square pegs. But yeah, so the comm starship was called the Outbound Light, and it ended up in clan space. And the clan, this is in 3048. The clans were like, "Oh fuck, they know we're here." I think it came close to Huntress, which is the home planet of Smoke Jaguar, if I'm recalling that correctly from the beginning of the game. Anyway, they were just like, "Oh shit, time to invade. Let's go." So the Curlin Ward's politics to delay the invasion as long as he could ended in 3048, and the clan invasion starts in 3049 officially. This is Operation Revival. Operation Exodus was leaving. Revival is heading back in after the tech nerds accidentally teleported to your home planet and figured out where you've been hiding all of your cool shit, basically.
Yeah. Operation X Exodus.
It's un-Exodus.
Yeah.
Once they returned from the periphery in 3020, the Dragoons began working for the Lyrans and Katrina Steiner, another very important name that you've definitely heard before if you listen to our Battletech stuff. House Steiner used the Dragoons to fight House Kurita in the Draconis Combine, which is space Japan. In one battle against a guy named Minobu Tetsuhara, who, if you look in the photos here, out of the two Japanese guys I sent, he is the old one with the gray hair. He's not the guy who is with the black hair.
Okay. No. If I would have pegged the other guy as a Japanese man. I was going to say it's the Japanese guy that you said me, but
yeah, I mean, 1,000 years in the future, like, people have been intermarrying, basically. So there are some of these characters that are, like, I think I talk about a guy later whose name is, like, straight up, like, Jerry Mitsurugi or some shit. Like, we'll get to it, but, like, I think that's neat sci-fi writing. I'm just like, well, yeah, these people are going to marry constantly, and their names are going to be a little, right? Like, they're going to be different in 1,000 years. Everybody's nice and gray.
Of course. Yeah. We're going to all be one nice big sludge.
Yeah.
We're all going to be pussed up on the inside, and same on the inside, same on the outside. That's how we're all going to be. Yeah. Puss and puss.
Habsburgs.
Habsburged up. Oops, all Habsburgs.
Got to get burged, bro. So, in a fight against Minobu Tetsuhara, Jamie Wolf's mech, which was an archer, became heavily damaged and then overheated. Minobu spared his life according to the Bushido Code, and the two ended up becoming friends and allies until Minobu's death in 3028. The archer would be the blue mech, the blue and yellow mech here. This is the one that Jamie Wolf is primarily using. Cool. In the games, as you can, it's referred to as a missile boat. As you can see, is most of the torso is just fucking missile racks.
All missiles. Yeah, it's kind of like a beehive, I guess, or like a honeycomb. Not a beehive, but a honeycomb, right? Honeycomb of missile missile turrets.
And the cockpit's in the middle, so it's cool when you're in first person, like pilot mode, when you're piloting this mech. It's got lasers above the cockpit as well as in its arms, so sometimes the lasers will like shoot directly out above you. And if you look around, it's got like a sunroof that you can, if you hold control and move the mouse, you can look around the cockpit, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. And like, it's fully detailed, so I don't know. Should I geek out about it? It's like when I'm not in combat, I'll hold control and just like look at all the Dude, look at all these goofy switches. Like, what do these do? This is crazy.
I gotta get
so much
you.
fun.
I gotta get you like a proper fucking joystick for your birthday, so you can be like a real mech pilot one of these days. You know.
Oh man, MechWarrior 5 has joystick support. My dad has a really nice joystick because as a fucking boomer, he is infinitely enamored by Flight Simulator. Like he
Yeah.
just can't get enough. Like
We
he
had
buys
one.
gaming PCs.
We had one. The original. I played. I think the original MechWarrior on 98, Windows 98. And we had like a real, like a really nice joystick. Had like I think 6 buttons. Like on the thumb pad, it had like 2 trigger switches. It had like a
Cool.
dial on the side where you could adjust like the sensitivity, basically like on the fly. It was very cool. That's how I first played MechWarrior.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
so
know if
fun.
I ever played it with a mouse and keyboard, honestly.
It's not that bad now. I mean, I say that now having fucking 9 buttons on my mouse. I'm like, yeah, it's actually not that hard to simulate piloting a battle mech. Like, I don't know if I'd recommend playing the game on controller. Another thing that my dad's enamored with, more recently because I bought it, is Ace Combat. He was just
Oh
like,
yeah.
he was like, ooh, fighter jet game. He's like, and when I told him about it, he was just like, oh, can you use a joystick? I'm like, yeah, of course. But you could also use a controller, which is cool. And he's like, well, I do like fighter jets as well, actually.
Yeah, that's fun.
I don't know if you'd be able to stomach the very weird story in those games, but anyway. Yeah. we have an Ace Combat episode as well.
I think we do,
Yeah, Jamie and I did that one. I think it was while you were either sick or away, I believe.
Sure. Could be.
I don't know. Anyway, 3020. The Dragoons are working for the Lyrans and Katrina Steiner. For whatever reason, this, like, even in the lore, is unknown. Katrina Steiner is notoriously untrustworthy. Like, the Lyran Commonwealth are the heels of the like the great houses, as in my own opinion, not to get political. Sure. They, generally speaking, like the Steiners kicked off, I'm pretty sure, the FedCom Civil War. Like, they just constantly fucking shit up.
Okay.
And like yeah, exactly. And like Victor Steiner Davion is like a child of a political marriage that ends up not really, obviously, like saving anyone, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So the Wolf's Dragoons only worked for House Steiner for 2 years instead of the normal 5. Nobody knows why the contract was broken that early. It was just, fuck that. We're out of here. So, right. And I talked about the fight here with House Kurita as well. So obviously the 6th and final employer was, of course, the guys they were just most recently sent to kill, which was House Kurita and the Draconis Combine. So Minobu was assigned as their liaison since he'd become friends with Jamie Wolf. And the mercenaries kind of rotated garrison duty on 3 planets: Capra, Misery, and Thestria. So, whatever, 4 months on, 4 months on Misery, then 4 months on Thestria. It's not too bad. Don't worry about it. Why would they call it Misery? It's got to be like a situation.
It's an ironic name. It's, a big guy called Tiny.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing is I didn't really understand at first is why the Dragoons were sent to raid Federated Suns planets in 3023. They raided a planet called Quentin because they'd worked for them in the, sort of. So they worked for them in the past, which is why just like, oh, whatever. Like, I think in real life, non-compete clauses are bullshit. I should be able to kill my former employer.
Yeah,
all right?
Absolutely.
I think that
I'm neutral.
Yeah, yes. I don't want to drag you into this or nothing. Well, I'm getting all hot under the collar here. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just like, they may not have known. This is like a thing I didn't really figure out, but like the false flag allegations, it's very much like a, what was the false flag that kicked off like the Vietnam War? What the fuck was that one called?
I don't know.
Never mind. Anyway.
What am I, some kind of history guy?
Yeah.
I talk about nerd stuff, not real stuff.
A Cretan warlord named Grieg Samsonov, another good name. And I recognize this name. I didn't go back and look. I think we've talked about him before. A Cretan warlord named Grieg Samsonov had requested and been denied direct control of Wolf's Dragoons. This would lead to there being some pretty serious bad blood between the Cretans and the Dragoons. The Koreans had the Dragoons assist in the creation of the Ryokan, which is, I think, Japanese for the Dragon Sword Regiment.
Okay.
It would use the Dragoon, i.e., clan tactics, opposed to standard Draconis Combine Mustard Soldiery, which is the DCMS. And I actually got that fucking one right this time.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the DCMS is the Draconis Combine, the Korean military, basically.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time fighting them in MechWarrior 5 clans, and you do get a Korean squad mate at one point. You take him on as a ward. He joins Clan Smoke Jaguar, which is very cool. He's cool.
Draconis, Combine, Machine, Snord. I got you.
It precisely, yeah. Just, I know it's not the Snord. In the Lorax, the loop pajama.
I've never seen it nor read the Lorax, but Snord is a very dark, like Seussian. I read a lot of Dr. Seuss with my daughter. It's a very Seussian thing to call someone.
I think the pajamas that the bad guy in the Lorax. I mean, the bad guy, depending on who you ask. I don't want to get political. The bad guy in the Lorax. The thing that the guy that the businessman in the Lorax is raping the earth to manufacture.
Yeah,
is called the Thneed, I think.
The Thneed, yeah, that sounds right.
Which is like the pajama where the sleeves are joined to the socks. I think is what that is.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, exactly.
I will say I've never seen it, but I do think that as soon as you said that, it did jog this in memory. Where I think Matt Pat, the video game theorist, also the movie theorist, does have a video where he talks about how the Lorax is the bad guy or something.
Insane.
Yeah,
that is Cold War shit. What the fuck? That dude's a Fed.
I mean, it's hard to make content, I guess. So just like he's making original content. We're just reading the BattleTech wiki from 40 years ago, right? So
I mean, no shade. But Lorax being the bad guy is a Fed post, dude. That's crazy.
yeah, something like that.
I don't want to get political. Anyway,
no, I'm neutral. I'm neutral about the Lorax and the guy who I think is bottling air to sell to people to breathe or something. Like he's cutting down forests and then he bottles a bunch of air or something. Maybe they're not related. Who cut down the forest and who bottled the air? But
I don't know. I've only read I read the Dr. Seuss when I was your daughter, right? When I was
true, yeah.
So it's been a minute. I have not seen the CG movie.
I still remember weaning you. It made me cry.
No, it's hard to get Pete to latch.
yeah. He's got a soft palate.
So
soy boy soft palate, Pete.
So there's like a lore revelation and like maybe spoilers for MechWarrior 5 that I haven't gotten to this yet. The reason that when you're fighting the DCMS in MechWarrior 5 and you're like, whoa, these guys are so fucking strong, why? Is because they have clan training. Like that's why they can stand up to you. And like sorry?
Where'd they get it?
From Ryokan. Which was the DCMS was being trained by Jamie Wolf via Greed Samsonov, basically, and what's his name, and where the fuck is it? Minobu? Excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like I think it all kind of comes together, and the reason the DCMS is so hard to defeat, and like when you recruit the DCMS guy in MechWarrior 5, and he's like a very good pilot that can like keep pace with the clans, is because he's been trained technically by Clan Wolf via the Wolf's Dragoons. Okay. I think, at least. Haven't finished the game at time of writing, so maybe this is not going to be a twist-a-rooney, but to me it reads as such. So Samsonov gave Minobu command of the Ryokan, which allowed him to, like, this is the guy I was talking about earlier. Yeah, I knew it was Jerry something Japanese. So Samsonov gave Minobu command of the Ryokan, which allowed him to be replaced as a liaison to Wolf's Dragoons with a guy named Jerry Akuma. Which excellent
good name.
Third place Street Fighter winner, basically. Like,
yeah. I think I'm Jerry Japanese. I really think so. That's all that comes to mind when I hear that name. Jerry
it's the furry guy who's like the best fighter in the world, someone you've never heard of, and then Jerry Akuma are like gold, silver, and bronze. Akuma was an old rival of Minobu, and through some unfortunate Clinton-style accidents and strategically poor management of the business relationship between the Koreans and the Dragoons, it all began to kind of deteriorate at this point.
Okay, yeah.
They'd eventually use the raids, false flag, thank you, on Quentin as evidence of breaches of contract and an excuse to attack the Wolf's Dragoons. Because again, Samsonov does not like these suspiciously skilled mercenaries whatsoever. Because
I did put a picture of Samsonov if you're curious if he likes anything. He's drawn with the deepest scowl known to man. Like his lips touch his jawbone pretty much, like just at the bottom, there.
Holy fuck, yeah. He is. Does he have mutton chops too? Is he just the one of the grumpy Muppets that hates theater?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, anyway, he doesn't like the Wolves Dragoons. Maybe anything at all. Frankly, he has a low opinion of most things. Yeah. So the Koretans began organizing anti-Dragoon propaganda, sabotage, and engineered riots. So George Soros is still alive and well in the 3020s.
Okay,
because
good.
no one would ever protest anything ever.
Otherwise,
Yeah, exactly. Protests were made up, basically.
It was cool when George Soros invented the protest.
It was, yeah. We should do an episode about that. Really fucked the SEO up.
or make it blow up. I don't know. Like, it'll blow up, good or bad. I don't know. But
yeah, I'm going to take that risk. So Jamie Wolf, finding himself at war with his employer again, just like with House Marek, ordered a group of fiercely loyal Dragoons to conduct a suicide mission on the planet of On Ting, the objective of which was to send a message to all remaining Dragoon forces, ordering them to leave from wherever they were and regroup on the ice planet of Misery. So basically, they had gone to I talked about the HPG, or the Hyperpulse Generator Network, which is how you do faster than light travel. It's also phones. So you'd still need to communicate faster than light, because you can't have an email find you well 8,000 years after you've died. Yeah, obviously,
because radio waves travel at the speed of light. So that's as fast as we could go, unless you got an HPG, including snail mail. I mean, I do think I know one of your art, maybe the first Battletech art, was a
mailman.
Like a horseback mailman frozen in space trying to deliver a letter. So we've made that joke before for sure.
Yeah.
But that's like Starcom's whole thing, right? Is like they invented the faster than light mail, which just let them buy stocks better than anyone else, and they got rich enough to buy the solar system and the galaxy.
Well, travel and mail, and then they got rich enough to print all of the currency. The C bill, which is the universal currency of the inner sphere, is like Comstar bill, basically.
Yeah.
They're the mint, the radio, the highways, fucking everything. And don't worry, they're not doing a jihad.
No, they're chill.
Don't worry about it, man.
They're cool. They're chill.
Yeah. At no point.
Keep voting for the politicians that they give you to choose from, you know?
Exactly.
It'll go well. It's going to be good.
And hey, buddy, take my advice. Don't protest for free. You get that Soros check first, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am protesting for free. In response to this, to the withdrawal of the Dragoons and their fortification on Misery, the Koretans and Samsonov promoted Minobu to general and ordered him to go to Misery and wipe out the Dragoons, including his friend Jamie Wolf. Minobu was accompanied by Michi no Kitsuna, which is the darker-haired Japanese guy that I sent there. And this guy's, I put him in here. He's kind of pivotal in the battle, not too much. He would one day actually take on the identity of the bounty hunter and kill Grieg Samsonov in 3030. So he gets his revenge later on, which is very cool. The Battle of Misery began on April 22nd, 3028. Minobu had noticed that the Dragoons were all concentrated on one ice field and they hadn't deployed any aerospace fighter jets. The addition of aerospace fighters in MechWarrior 5 Clans is very cool, because now you have jets and shit coming down from the sky.
Yeah, just makes sense too, right?
Yeah, I love it. It's so neat. So as an adherent to the Bushido Code of Honor, he'd assumed that Jamie Wolf was hankering for ritual mech combat. That was an assumption that Jamie was hoping to exploit. The two sides met on the ice field and engaged in slow 1v1, like on Rust style mech combat until a very dishonorable shot was fired from the Dragoon side of things. This enraged the Cretan forces, who charged the Dragoons while they retreated. However, hundreds of demolition charges went off beneath the ice field, detonating the ice and like collapsing it, just like sinking multiple lances of Cretan mechs instantly into just like this giant, I think it's a crevice in the ice, and like and crushing them and just
stand on the rickety rope bridge and like, you know, fire a shot before battle's been declared, and then like run off the rope bridge, right? Like everyone else is like, go get them.
Exactly. They concentrated all their forces on the rickety rope bridge, sir. It's like, finally, the Japanese honor I've been waiting for.
Yeah. Everybody, grab your 30-ton mech and let's run out onto that frozen lake. Like, come on, guys. Oldest trick in the book.
I know, he fell for it. Fell for it. It is kind of like Looney Tunes ass tactic in like 30-20, but whatever, man. Like, let's go. Misery's Climate was also used by Wolf's Dragoons throughout the weeks of fighting. Minobu's forces were frequently blinded by the planet's like it's a ice planet. Yeah. So it has like super intense snow squalls that completely blind the mechs. Their sensors don't work. They can't see out the fucking window. Obviously, they're all completely blinded. Minobu had assumed that like, well, if I can't see, the Bushido Code dictates that my enemy also cannot. He was completely wrong. The Dragoons had deployed recon satellites all over the fucking planet. Like they're all over the orbit, ensuring they'd always know like where the Cretan forces were. And this is how it works in the game. I've not looked into it like lore wise. Locking on with missiles requires someone else to have visual contact with the enemy. So if you have a satellite, you can do indirect fire with a missile and just like shoot people over a mountain, basically.
Cool.
But if no one can see them, you can't lock on because then your communication systems aren't like pinging each other.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know if this is a gameplay conceit or like just sci-fi bullshit.
No, that makes sense to me. Like you just need the core. Like you're shooting a missile. The missile will have like it's a guided missile, like a homing missile. It like we have satellite guided missiles in our day and age, right? So I think it just makes sense. You have motors, they can steer themselves, and you just point them to a location, and they'll go there.
Yeah. So this is why they're still getting hit with indirect fire constantly, because they're completely blind, and the Dragoons have the satellites up. Minobu is not having a great time here. He called for reinforcements twice, and both times they failed to appear. He'd eventually come to realize that Samsonov had betrayed him and basically sent him out to either kill Jamie Wolf or die in the snow. Both options were equally good, in the opinion of Samsonov. This betrayal is what led Michi no Kitsune to seek revenge on Samsonov under the guise of being the bounty hunter in the 3030s.
Okay.
So, like, this dishonor after this fight, he was like, no, this is completely wrong.
Cannot stand.
Exactly. So Minobu and Michi were eventually captured by the Dragoons. Minobu, having failed to defeat Jamie Wolf and bound by the Bushido Code, chose to commit seppuku. Jamie tried desperately to talk his friend out of it, but in the end became his second, which is the guy who like finishes it. If you watch, again, we have an episode about this. Shogun is the guy who cuts your head off after you stab yourself in the stomach. Gotcha. However, in this instance here, Jamie Wolf shot Minobu in the head with a laser pistol after the ritual.
Stepped on him with his mech. Is my lore boys canon.
He stepped on his balls. Okay. So the Wolf would be involved in more politics after the 3030s, but at the Battle of Misery is really just like kind of the turning point of their whole involvement in the Inner Sphere before the clans arrive 19 years later. That'll be the end of our episode about the Wolf's Dragoons in Battletech.
And the world's grumpiest man, Grieg Samsonov.
Exactly. So I've been your host, Peter O'Donnell. You can find me at Loreboys Podcast on Instagram or on Discord, discord.gg/theloreboys, linked below. Come say hi, guys. I had a lot of fun with this one. Let me know what you want me to cover next. Whether it's this or something different, I will get around to it. I don't know. I'm going to write it down on my phone. That's it.
Yeah, surely Pete will remember it. He doesn't need to write it down. He won't forget it as soon as he goes to the kitchen to get something. Just ask. Check us out, discord.gg/loreboys if you want to join the conversation. And if you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/theloreboys, where you can get access to a whole bunch of bonus audio. You get access to some loser title games, and we'll forward you the pictures handily that we talked about on this episode, so you don't have to Google them yourself. Boy, that's convenient, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Does it sound it?
And just get a fucking ad or an AI answer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just have it telling you to go to another fucking location on Google Maps or something. Listen to the Patreon if you want to hear us rant about the state of the world. I guess I don't know. Yeah, thanks so much for listening. If you don't trust Patreon, we do of course have Lore Boys Prime, where we are looking for somebody this week who's willing to step on Peter's balls and crush them horribly. The heavier your foot, the more the better chance you'll have getting it. So send us your feet pics. Send them direct to Pete on Instagram, and he's going to be choosing one lucky listener to step on his balls in the near future. Yeah, Pete, do you want
a single foot picture after this? I will throw myself out a window.
No. That's what Telcom wants you to think. That wasn't actually Pete saying that. That was Telcom doing a rendered voice talking about how he wants to kill himself. But neither of us wants to kill ourselves. If you find us dead, it was or Starcom. Did I say Telcom? Starcom.
Comstar.
Comstar. Jesus.
Intelcom is like a courier.
yeah, not Intelcom. Comstar wants us dead, and not us ourselves. So,
Exactly.
yeah, if anything happens to us, it was Comstar. I think that would constitute
Lore Boys?
Lore Boys. Cybertruck.
Out.